Hey guys, welcome back to Raw Doing Stuff. So today we're going to make some pheasant jerky. I recently had the opportunity to go to South Dakota and hunt some pheasants for a few days. We came back with a lot of birds and nobody else wanted any. So I'm going to show you how to make some pheasant jerky. The most expensive jerky on planet Earth by the time you pay for your trip and everything there. But I'm going to show you how I do it. So stick around and I'll give you a good recipe for that. Okay guys, for the first thing that you want to do when you're making this jerky is you've got to get the breast meat off of the breastbone. So if you just see there, I slice right down the breast to get the meat off, and it is a little bit frozen, which helps. It's not frozen solid, but it is just a little frozen, and so that helps to get that meat off. And it also helps that when you go to slice the meat into the thin slices, you can slice it a little thinner than you can if it's not frozen a bit. So then I'm just going to take that, you want to slice it in about 1/4 inch slices. Usually you can get 1 to 2 slices out of each pheasant breast, depending on how thick they are. So you just slice that up and then put that to the side and move on to the next one. In this clip here, I'll show you, if you cut the breast off like this, so there's the rib cage there, you're going to kind of pull the tenderloin. That's the tenderloin of it. If you pull that out, you can just keep that in one piece and smoke that as a separate piece. And then if you just slice the breast in half, it makes it about the right thickness for what you're going to want for jerky. Okay guys, so we're going to get the marinade mixed up for our pheasant jerky. So I 1.5 times this recipe, but I'm just going to give you the normal recipe, and then you can times it by however much meat you have. The recipe is for 16 ounces of pheasant breast sliced. So it's 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, and then 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. That's what we're putting in. Like I say, you can adjust the recipe to see how much meat you have. And then we need 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and that was a teaspoon of Instacure #1. So once you've done that, that's all there is to it. You just got to bring it to a simmer and get it warm and get all those ingredients to go together, and then you'll be ready to put your meat in there. Alright guys, so we got our jerky cure seasoning mixed up here. I've got my pheasant here that I sliced up the other day, and I'm gonna put a little bit out of this bag, man down, into this one. Not quite that much, so they're about even. Yeah, probably about like that. That looks good. Then I'm going to put half of this in one bag and half in the other. So I'm going to put should be good. So you have about 3 cups in each one. Then we're going to let this sit for 12 to 24 hours. If you like a little spicier, you can go a little longer. Get as much of the air out of this as we can, so that way it covers more of the meat. We're going to flip this every once in a while it's in the fridge, so it gets all mixed around on all sides of the meat. Need to get some air out of this one. That's all there is to it. We're going to let this sit, and then we'll be back when we're ready to put it on the smoker. Okay, so we let our meat sit in the marinade overnight. I've drained it, and I've got it sitting out here. I've got these jerky racks here. I'm going to put them on these, and we're going to get it put in the smoker. So what you want to do is you want to just lay these out and leave just a little bit of space between them. Of course, they'll shrink up so you can get them pretty close. Get these strips in here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get all these laid out, and then I'll bring you back when it's time to put them on the smoker. Alright guys, so we got the smoker running at 180, which is the lowest this smoker will go. Optimum would be to run it at 160, but that's all we can do. So we're going to get these racks put on. Alright, so we had to stand this one up on top of this a little bit to fit more in there. The rest we're going to put in another batch, but we'll get this going. Probably take about 3-4 hours. We'll come back in a little while and kind of rotate these around away from the hot spots, and we'll get this jerky done. Alright guys, so when you check this jerky, if you just bend it and it breaks, then you know it's done. If it cracks like that, see it's cracking, that piece is done. That piece is done. That's done. So anyway, that's how you check it to know if it's done. You just pull it off as it gets done, because some pieces are thicker, some are thinner. So as it gets done, we've just been pulling it off. When we get it all done, we'll have a taste test, see how it goes, see how good it is. So, alright guys, so our jerky's done. Looks really good. Of course, this is only a portion of it. The other I already took inside. I've been snacking on it, of course. It's really good. The only thing I would do different with this recipe next time, and it's probably just me because I like pepper, but I would have sprinkled a little bit of pepper across this before I smoked it, just to give it a little bit of spice. But it's a good recipe. I'd recommend following it. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up and a like, and we'll see you on the next one.